Well, revenue is up 3%, EBITDA up 2.1%. The stock is up and about a little bit. Harsh, any other details? Because we starved for good FMCG numbers as well this quarter. Emami was one, reacted. What about Dabur? Any sense? The margins seem to be flattish.
Yeah, margins seem to be flattish. Seems to be a toughish sort of quarter when it comes to volumes as well, Neeraj. Doesn't seem to be much with regard to where volumes is concerned. Raw material costs, though, seem to have come slightly better, if at all. And I'd be curious to know as to whether it's getting even better in Q4, and is that raw material cost pressure easing as we head into Q4 and FY26 as well. Those are a couple of things that I'd be curious to know. But of course, for that, we'll have to await management commentary. But for the moment, the stock is spiking, nearly 3% higher. So the street definitely looking at the numbers in a more constructive light than we seem to be looking at it, on all counts. But Sudeep, let me take a quick view from you with regard to Dabur. The numbers are at best low single digit, if I can call it, on growth. Anything that stands out for you?
Well, I think we have to see the internals, Harsh. It's too difficult to comment. At this stage, it doesn't look very, very impressive. But one has to remember that Dabur has a significant exposure to rural India. And what we have been hearing is that rural consumption is slowly picking up. The challenge was in the urban part. So let's see. I mean, Dabur commentary, Dabur internals will be very, very important.
20.3, Neeraj, was the margin projection as well as per Bloomberg estimates. And the PAT projection was at 509 versus the number which it has come in at of around 522. So marginally better, if at all. Marginally ahead in terms of profit after tax. And the top line was expected to come in at around 3,300 crore, and yeah, it's come in at 3,355 crore. So it's largely the top line which has contributed to slight bit of PAT, the PAT number coming slightly ahead of estimates. That's
3% now. I wonder if there's a trade here, though. And I'm inclined to ask Rajesh Palvia that, right? Did we ask him? No, we haven't, right? Rajesh, 3% higher, Dabur, trending at the high point of the day. Would you buy it?
Yeah, so Dabur is looking bullish. On a weekly chart, stock is now managing to give breakout of last 4-week consolidation. Even if we look at the other FMCG also, the same kind of behavior we have witnessed for most of the FMCG stock after a correction. Now, almost most of the stocks are consolidated for last 3-4 weeks, and then now breakout is already there on near-term chart. Possible upside target towards 548 to 555 we may see for Dabur at this juncture. Those who are already long or want to buy can buy with stop loss of 528.
Kush, you were beaming. Were you long Dabur?
Was it that obvious? Did I make it that obvious?
It seemed to me.
It's just 28th January, just 2 days ago. Dabur was our BTST call with targets of 535 and 545. The stop loss was 515, so that was missed yesterday by a whisker. The low was 515.5, so missed that by a whisker, and today we're seeing target one hit. So I think the happiness comes more from there. I hope all the viewers who actually bought into this are looking at handsome profits today. My suggestion: continue holding on to this one. Tail your stop losses to your buying price and hold it for targets of 545.
Okay, so still positive, Dabur, 3% now, nearly 3.5% higher. That stock doing fairly well for itself. But let's go across. We have Mahima joining us to give us more perspective with regard to Dabur's numbers. Mahima.
Right, so basically the numbers are in line with estimates, which is why we're seeing an uptick in the stock. Revenue is up 3.1%, which is expected to be around 2.6%. EBITDA is up 2.1%, which is kind of beaten the estimates because the expected was 1.3% growth. Margins are in line with the estimates. The analysts had estimated roughly margins will be around 20.3, and it has come at 20.3. And net profit was expected to decline by 1%, whereas the net profit has increased by around around 1.6%. So it's almost in line with what the analysts have had expected. Now, in terms of how the other segments have fared, consumer care business has grown by around 4%. Food business has, however, fallen by 3%, and the retail segment for the company has been flat. Now, in terms of how the volumes have grown, considering the past trend from FMCG companies, the volumes might be flat, and we might have to see that this revenue uptick of around 3% would be on account of price hikes, but that we'll know once the press release is out. So this whole view is with respect to the numbers. Overall, it's the numbers are in line. The net profit is, however, slightly beaten the analyst estimates.
Okay, so it's a bit of a pat beat there coming in with regard to where Dabur is concerned. A couple of other stocks.